Welcome to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Gorgeous day in Oklahoma City for our doubleheader. Hoping we can match what's happened already through the first 2 days. How about an Ella Parker walk-off home run for OU or a Jessica Clements walk-off for UCLA? There's also
executing, barreling up balls. It doesn't matter who your opponent is, it's the same game.
8th pitch of this at-bat. Pickering gets under it and sends it out to Katie Henry in center. One down. Tegan Cavan with a 1-2 count. Parker slices that one out to center. Went down and away to get that one. Knew she wanted to play an integral role in her first appearance here at the World Series. Ground ball to short, good to Bennett for the lead runner, and safe at first is Nellie Mack. 2 down. Garcia finds some green grass out and right. Nellie Mack motoring around to third. The throw is behind Garcia. Now she's in a pickle and she'll dive back into first. That's good. Had her eye on the runner at third. It's in an 8-game hitting streak. That'll do it. Pops it up. Katie Bennett at second. Gloves it. And Texas gets out of it at the top of this lineup. No longer the 40 acres at Texas, but the 400 acres at the top of the order. Another 3-2, and there is Garcia to make the play. Well positioned on the shift, 1 down. Big bats to follow after the speed here at the top. Scott and Atwood can change a game with 1 swing. They add the power to that average. Right back up the middle, and it will be a base runner for Mia Scott, who strides to the plate, playing now in her 3rd World Series for runs scored. Way back in the box with that wide open stance. Runner goes, the throw is a bit offline, and now a runner in scoring position after Henry. The opposite way, and that's a fair ball. Henry had to hold on it, so she goes to third, and it's runners on the corners with 1 out.
Easily nice heads up by Cassidy Pickering in left.
So now a chance for Reese Atwood. And another throw down, and that's going to allow Henry to come in and score. Scott will motor around to third. And Texas, with speed on the bases, generates a run.
Well, I think that's what this Texas team has to do to compete with this strong Oklahoma team, is they've got to create some chaos for this Oklahoma defense. And so the takeoff, first and third situation, immediately, as soon as the throw goes down, Henry takes off toward home. Agbayani, the throw is going to float a little bit, so Emmerling is not able to grab that in. That allows Mia Scott to advance all the way to third.
Reese Atwood, deep fly ball to Pickering, almost on the track. And here comes Scott headed for home, a race she will win easily. 2-0 Longhorns on the Atwood sac fly.
Against Oklahoma, and I think that's what Mike White wants. He's like, let's just go out and play Texas softball, play our best version of ourselves.
Landry gets her upstairs for her first strikeout, but a couple on the board. Good at drawing walks.
Ball.
And she'll get one there to lead off the 2nd inning.
Kavana's done a good job of control of her body.
5 lefties in the lineup today for OU. And bobbled by Katie Bennett at second, and everybody's safe. So we've talked about Texas, 5 losses to Oklahoma, but almost half of her hits are home runs. And she'll square around to drop down the sacrifice. Only play is to first. 1 down and 2 in scoring position. Dayton with a hit in 5 of her last 6 games, and Dayton drops that one on the grass in shallow center, and Sanders will score. Runners at first and third with 1 out and back to the top of the order.
How about first pitch swinging to Abby Dayton down here in the 9-hole. Excited for the opportunity to come up, runners in scoring position, and this is on her hands, which is actually better for her because it's not hit all the way to Henry. It just drops in perfectly for a base hit. Sooners are on the board.
Bottom of the order produces Aurora 1s at third base. Here's Cassidy Pickering, first pitch swinging. To the right side, a chance for 2 again. No. And Oklahoma ties it up as Agbayani scores.
Cassidy Pickering coming from that left side, opportunity to beat that out, and because of it, Agbayani
Exist.
1-2 from Kavan. And Gove tried to make a spectacular play at second, keeps it on the dirt, but Pickering safe at second, and there are 2 aboard. 2 runs across here in the top of the second for the Sooners. Gets her to chase the rise, and Kavan with her first strikeout. A couple stranded, but a couple in a 2-2 ball game.
Righties too, creates a very unique angle.
Ball. And ball 4 to Katie Stewart. Lead off aboard.
If any part of her foot is on or touching the line, she's considered within the lane. So you can see on that pitch she was good.
And they got a double play. Sanders to Garcia.
count 35 pitches already. Just a second inning.
And her second walk of the inning. And now Katie Bennett will try and make amends for the
11 balls, so just 7 strikes.
Chops that out to left center. Dayton calling for it, and she's got it. Side retired with a runner left on, and a 2-2 ball game. Both their runs coming from the bottom of the order in the last inning. Garcia hacks that to second. Bennett with the range. 1 down. Texas has several that have been down this road before, including Atwood and Mia Scott. Another chase of the rise. Strikeout number 2 for Kavan.
For some words of encouragement, result strikeout. That's teamwork.
Yeah, that took place in the Super Regionals. They had to win a couple of elimination games against Clemson as Mitchell gloves that pop up, and Kavan.
Short game. So if you're making her swing, you're winning.
Off the glove of Landry and scooped up at second by the right fielder Barker, but Maloney beats the shift.
Okay.
Here's Caden Henry, a single and a run scored back in the first. Dropping down a bunt, putting pressure on Landry, who fires to first, and the sacrifice moves Maloney. Holly Rowe?
Well, yeah, all the young girls that you see that now have the Sam Landry style, she should have a deal at this point.
Here's Mia Scott. Opposite field, out to Cassidy Pickering, and that will not advance the runner. 2 down. Interesting development here. Here's still to go. Chance to give Texas the lead. Atwood skies that one out to Pickering, not deep enough. And Landry works out of the jam. Really good pitching from the likes of Krista Williams and Kat Osterman and Blair Luna over the years for Texas. Ball. And Agbayani draws the lead-off walk.
Lead-off batter. I mean, walks are never good, but when you give them up with 2 outs, it's a little bit more difficult for your opponent to score.
Emmerling pops up the bunt. Easy play for Scott. 1 down. Tennessee, by the way, did stay on 2-2 to Dayton. rolls one to second. Bennett, and they'll just get the lead runner. Good decides not to turn it.
City Pickering, you can't have any missed calls.
No. I mean, it's hard enough to strike him out with 3 strikes, more or less 4 strikes.
Got her.
But she does it.
Strikeout number 3 for Tegan Cavan, and it stays 2-2. Games for Landry. Mitchell sends it out to right. Barker is there. 1 down. Well, the Women's College World Series Championship Series. Another 3-2 pitch coming. Counts up over 70 now for Landry, and it hits her.
And you can tell Landry is digging so deep in her.
The NCAA tournament. Out in front. Second strikeout for Landry, 2 down. Bottom of the order, trying to get something going here for Texas. Right back up the middle and a base hit. Stewart will hold it second, and now the go-ahead in scoring position, and it's Katie Bennett. Ella hit one over the bleachers at Love's Field.
She hit hers farther.
NCAA tournament. And right into the glove of McEnroe Marinas at third, and that will end the threat.
Speaking of Ella Parker.
In the national semifinals for either Texas or Oklahoma, and Parker gets a hold of one and not enough. Henry to the track. 1 down.
Oh, that's a big exhale. You could almost feel it from all of Texas's team. Change up first pitch, then comes something a little more up in the...
You need a trigonometry degree. And a called strike 3. Number 4 for Cavan. Who has not given up a hit since the second inning, Michelle.
Yeah, and that's a curveball.
Her hands will. They start there, but as she gets into her swing, they'll come down towards her belt.
Oh, and a ground ball, and it spins the other way on Jolie Mitchell, who was headed for the bag. And a base hit for Garcia. Hanacor, and Mia Scott at third base. Already write her down for the all-defensive team at the World with a different club. The biggest transfer of the NIL era now in Lubbock, and a ground ball to Bayani, 1 down. As they in that play. Here's Caden Henry, and she swats one deep down the line, and she yanks it out for a home run. Just her 4th of the season.
Base, Holly Rowe talked about her speed, how ridiculously fast she is on the base pass. But we also talked about the ability for her to stand in. Look at this changeup. She recognizes it in the bat speed. In fact, her legs get ahead of her hands, but her hands are just as quick as her feet. She gets this thing out of here before she's even out of the box.
Big swing for Tech. Mia Scott right back up the middle. Her second single of the day.
Well, that's normally how you win championships, right? The entire line has to step up.
A rocket right to Nellie Mack, and a double play. They rallied for a win on Thursday. Can they do it again?
Going up for chase, but down for contact.
Agbayani grounds it to Bennett, who will make the play to first. Tying run in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, just to your point.
That one rifles over the head of Atwood, and Malloy at third base, 60 feet away from tying it up with 1 out. Time and time again, the Sooners knock them off and sometimes knock them out. for a strike from Kavan, and she shows Kavan's 2-2. Pops it up. Scott, does she have room? In foul territory, and she's got it. Snow cones it, but holds on. And Kavan works out of the jam. Mitchell gets a hold of one, launches that, and Jolie Mitchell has her third home run of this World Series. And a big bonus on the scoreboard for Texas.
Remember, we talked about this. Jolie Mitchell loves to get, she get 2 home runs back on Thursday. Look at, because she's up in the front, she gets on top of the rise ball. This is a pitch, if she's middle to back, it's out of the zone and she pops it up. But because she's at where she's at, she meets it as long as she gets on time, which she does.
Base knock. Out into left for Stewart. Aboard for the 3rd time today. 100th pitch of the day for Landry. Agbayani gets the lead runner. And that'll be it. Safe at first is good. 1 down. Backs up Garcia. Agbayani turns. And they'll get the lead once again. 2 outs. Walk. Here's Katie Bennett. Runner goes, and sliding in safely with the stolen bag is Adea Wallace, the pinch runner. Can Texas get one more?
No, if Wallace could walk, then it turns over the lineup. Excuse me, Bennett.
Bennett sends a flare out to Abby Dayton, who backs up to make the catch. But a run in off the bat of Jolie Mitchell. A 2-run lead for Texas.
Down in the zone.
Did she check it? No. And a strikeout for Kavan. Number 6, 1 down.
Good ball.
Oh, it hits her. And now that opens the door for one swing to tie it. McEnroe Marinas, that could be trouble. On the run, and that'll fall. Parker to second. And now the go-ahead run will come to the plate with 1 out. And a base hit for 1-2 pitch. Struck her out. 2 down. And Texas is an out away from exercising the demon.
Up in the zone. Excuse me, Hannah Cord, that's her approach to this at-bat.
Got her! And Texas finally gets it done against Oklahoma at the World Series. Beating the Sooners for the first time in Oklahoma City.
And how about Tegan Kavan in the 7th inning? Hits a batter, gives up a hit, but 3 strikeouts to get out of the jam. Kavan, the sophomore, has been fabulous at the World Series. 16 swing and miss here against the Sooners, against a team that does not swing and miss a lot and does not strike out very often.
You guys, they got over the hump. I mean, this was a giant, this wasn't a hump, this was a mountain, this was Everest for this Texas team. Mike White told us, a lot of times you deny it. He said when it is Oklahoma